Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Wake Up Monday. I'm so glad to be on with you on this Monday after Passover weekend. What did you do for Passover? Let me tell you, here at Tabernacle, where I pastor, we had a phenomenal week. It was just stupendous. Thursday, we had the Cedar meal as we always do, and man, the saints showed up, and we were able to walk through the significance of Jesus being a Passover lamb and fulfilling the Passover in Egypt as Israel left out. And then on Friday night, we had Good Friday service, and woo, we had preachers from in-house that just blessed me tremendously. Saturday, had outreach at our sister church in Tabernacle, Tunica, Mississippi. That went very well. Everyone had a good time, and it was a blessing. Then Sunday, my Lord, both services were phenomenal. I'm happy to report that right at 20 people gave their lives to Christ in both services combined. That was phenomenal. How many people gave their lives to Christ this weekend? Did you take advantage of those who come to church for that holiday? What did you all do? Just let me know. How did it go this weekend? Put that in the comments. I'm elated over this time, what God is doing in such a season as this. The Lord is showing himself in great ways, and I am excited and glad. Well, I'm coming to you today just with a lot of great feelings. I'm excited about what I see God is doing. I'm so blessed by many of you who reach out to me. I want to thank those. I got just in case you're asking or wondering, those 10 pastors that I was talking about, we're doing coaching with. I have my 10. I really had an abundance of you that reached out. Couldn't take you all, but I wanted you to know that starting in June, we'll be open to everyone to be able to be a part of that. We want to strengthen the ecclesia, strengthen the church to be in kingdom mode. Listen, I got a great guest on today. I want to bring him on and share with you is Bishop Garland Hunt out of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, there are some remnant churches in Atlanta, but Bishop Garland Hunt is a friend of mine. He's a phenomenal guy. He formerly was the executive director and president for Prison Fellowship nationwide. He's a lawyer, graduated from Howard University. He's done great things, great ministry, and now currently, in addition to his powerful church in Atlanta, he is the president of Douglas Leadership Institute. And Douglas Leadership Institute are following the legacy of a great man of God, Frederick Douglass. They are going across the country helping people and one of the things they're doing is going across the country helping people to purchase homes and to get qualified for homes and to get information. And their nationwide tour is coming to my neighborhood. They're going to be at the Peabody Hotel here in Memphis, and I'm excited about it. That's this coming Wednesday, the 23rd, that he'll be here on Wednesday the 23rd, and I'm excited because of what's happening. They're actually got some surprises. They're going to be paying somebody's mortgage or someone's rent up to $1,800. But really what they're trying to do is help build generational wealth. So I want you to hear this. Even if you're not in the Memphis metro area, I want you to hear it. And if you are, I want you to register and to be a part of it to learn how you can leverage home ownership, even in an economy like this. There will be banks there to literally qualify you on the spot. There'll be realtors there to school you and give you information on what it means to be a part and to get your own house and do all these other things. These brothers are on fire. And I just want you to meet Garland Hunt. Like I said, he's a bad man. This brother is bad. And so let's go to him now. There he is, Bishop Garland Hunt. Like I told you, one of the great men of God from all over, done great things. We match him, Bishop. We're on the same.
I see that. I see that. Yes,
How
sir.
you
We on
doing,
one
my
accord.
brother?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Man,
Always good to
it's
be with you. Looking forward to
I,
seeing you this week.
oh yeah. my congregation is excited about it. And
Good.
we were talking about it this week. I want everybody to be there. I just told them, you paying somebody's mortgage or they rent this week too. So I'm well within that. I'm putting my name in the hat. Yeah. So don't disqualify me if I win.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what I see is you're doing this all over the country. You're
Yeah,
helping people all over.
we partner with the organization that we feel like is a good thing to do. And it's really a conversation about home ownership and generational wealth.
Mm.
And this is American property owners. And basically, what they're concerned about is the fact that, that poverty and Black America, and sometimes you would need a little extra help in terms of understanding home ownership, which I think we all agree about. So
Yeah.
basically, the whole idea was partner with us so that we can get to people, and in our case, I'll just be honest, and just say Black people particularly, so they can understand that they can own a home and get by some of these major obstacles that stand in the way. So basically, any question that a person may have is a good question because it's going to be basically a panel that is there. And some of the people that are going to be there, Colin Allen, who's the executive director of American Property Owners Alliance, we worked with for several years actually. And you're right, we're doing this in different places. We're sponsoring some of the ones that they're doing, but and then there's Larice Purnell. He's like the managing partner for them, which is a consulting firm. And he has, like they said, 20 years of experience in management, taxation, and finance. So he's going to be one of the ones that are there. And I think that has a lot of understanding of what people go through in that financial area. And then there's a woman named Amy Shefflin, who's the executive director of United Housing and in Memphis. Now, do you know her? She's from Memphis area.
I think I've heard of her. Yes, sir.
So anyway, she's going to be joined with United Housing's team to help understand how they can provide economic self-sufficiency and financing options for families, which is always good. We need to know these things. And then there's also a major realtor that is coming, that's raised in the Texas area, and he's African American. And he basically has been raised up in the need for it. Graduated from Morehouse too, so he certainly, I think, he'll understand what's going on. So anyway, he's talking about how he acquired his home and how the whole process goes, and even getting a loan officer and all that, and working under the mortgage, working with a mortgage company, which in many cases we need to fully understand that. And then it looks like. The other one is a community leader out of this area, Brody Womble,
Okay.
and he looks like he's dealing with community affairs and officer. So anyway, all that to say is the combination of the panel
Yes.
seems to encompass all the different areas that relate to home ownership. So it's going to probably be them sharing their story, but at the same time, the interaction is what's going to make the biggest difference. Because we cannot be paying rent forever. We're
Right.
going to have to own home, and they used to tell me, I don't know, you ever heard this say, your best piggy bank is your house.
Yes.
When you have a home, that's the best thing you can allow. And of course, other people, as they get stocks and bonds and all that, but typically speaking, you're building equity in your home from day one. And the idea is, how do you build that equity, and how does it provide a benefit for you in the financial area? But first, you have to be a homeowner. We need our people to be home ownership. So that's it, kind of it in a nutshell.
That's great.
There are other people that will be there, but I would encourage people to come because it's going to help them be able to answer any questions. So no questions off the table. And if a person wants individual counseling in the process, there are consultants there that can help also in some of the individual situations if they want some offline interaction also.
What's exciting about what you shared is that people will leave getting financing information and maybe even link to someone that can help them to be financed or see what they need to do to be ready for financing.
That's correct. Because usually, may not be, you may be a year off or 6 months
Right.
off. So you have to get yourself in a position, and sometimes you need to know even what are the questions they're going to be asked and what are the expectations. So, and most people have the biggest issue is that when they start dealing with what's the down payment, what do I
Yes.
have to put out in order to get it? So we would need to understand what's practical also for most people. I mean, most people would love to have a several $1 million mansion, but depending
Right.
on where they are in life, that might not be their first home. So
Right.
again, that consulting component of it may help them because their first home may put them in a position to get the second home or third home. And I think too is that we tend to think like what we do is forever. You get a home and you're going to stay in that one particular home forever. But realistically, if the market changes, things change, you got to be able to move with that because you may be able to expand and increase. So
Right.
this also, I think, helps us to get a different perspective on home ownership. That once you buy a home, that's the one that you're going to be in for the rest of your life and your children and your children's children. No, it sometimes it does make sense to understand that your first home, it puts you in a position for another home and a better home. So you may not get the dream home initially, but we're looking at that we have to, and Black people need this. We just need it. And there's
Hmm.
no other way to say it. We need more of our people owning property, owning homes, and understand what that takes. So this is what that attempt is to do.
Nice, because I always say, if you look biblically, true riches are children and land. And if you don't
Hmm.
have that, you're broke. You can have a
Yeah,
bank account full of money. You can have all kinds of designer clothes and cars. You're broke.
that's right. Now,
Yep.
that's very true because that's your legacy. And
Yes.
and then the other part about is generational transfer. We got to understand that wealth has a lot to do with generational in terms of what you can pass on beyond your own life. You're right. You're broke if you are living hand to mouth and you're trying to spend everything you have and try to be bigger than you are. Clearly, we need to have understanding what true wealth is, which is a difference in wealth and just having money to spend.
I saw a quote the other day. It said, rich people spend their whole life looking like they have less while they have a lot. Poor people spend their whole life looking like they have a lot while they have nothing. And
That's
I'd rather have a small hoopty pulling up in front of my own house than to have a beautiful big car and nice clothes, and I don't have that. So I appreciate you and DLI for helping to make this possible.
Yeah, thank you. And realistically, one of the things that has been important for DLI is that we strengthen in the Black family, and then
Yes.
also is economic opportunities. So in between those, I mean, the family is only strong as it is in terms of as you said, children and wealth. I mean, we gotta be plentiful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and we understand that we have to change our mentality about it because it's not just your generation but it's the generation you're building for. I mean, it's really a shame when somebody passes on and that they leave absolutely nothing for their children.
Yes.
And there's nothing there. As a matter of fact, they live bills. So
Right.
they got to do a GoFundMe just to bury me. Now, that's
Mm.
the issue. That's a bury. So it doesn't really speak to the children. It speaks to the person that's gone that you didn't
Yes.
even prepare enough for your own burial. But we're going way beyond burying. We're saying, how do you put yourself in a position that you're able to pass down something for the next generation and
That's
think
right.
that way? So there are numbers of other things that we could think of, trust and other things like that too, as we expand. But unfortunately, we are very temporal people. We think about show, what kind of how classy things are, how shiny they are, how
Hmm.
glitzy they are, and that gives us that self worth, but it's
Yes.
not actually giving us enhancing our worth or what is our worth in terms of finances.
Wow. By the way, you mentioned people that are coming. You said many more. I want to mention one more. Trevante Thompson is a spiritual son of mine. He's a realtor, big time realtor here in Memphis. He's going to be a part of that too. So I just
Oh,
want
that's excellent. Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out
good,
Devontae
man.
Thompson going to be a part of
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That's good. That's so
What are some
good.
other things? I know you got a meeting to go to. I kind of pulled you into this. I needed to interview for the Bereans on Wake Up Monday. I needed people to meet the man. But what some other things that DLI has on the fire right now?
Well, I guess our next biggest thing is that we are celebrating Juneteenth. And it's
Hmm.
interesting, I know that many people have questions about, Juneteenth is freeing the slaves and, we already free. But, it's a lot to celebrate because God has been with our people.
That's
And
right.
part of the celebration also is a warning that if we don't follow him, we won't continue to get blessings. So we want
Yes.
our people to be blessed. Now, I'm again say our people. Well, yeah, some you have to deal with families, you got to deal with tribes, you deal with ethnicities. So realistically, we should be concerned about a people group that has gone through as much as we've gone through. So Juneteenth becomes that celebration. Now, just the background in case people don't know. Of course, there were literally slaves that were waiting to find out after Abraham had provided the Emancipation Proclamation. As a matter of fact, it had been done months before,
Right.
and they were still looking for some kind of word in Texas to see, well, are we free? And when they heard that, then of course there was a celebration because it was not just by paper, but it was in actuality. So therefore for the slaves in that regard, that was their freedom day. So of course, we're not taking us back to slavery. What we're saying is we can still celebrate what God has done with people and advantage, and then also encouraging them how they can do just what we're talking about, how we can increase, how we can change the trajectory of our lives, that we can be a better people, and most of all, that we can walk in the favor of God. I just can't. That's what probably perturbs me the most is that we
Yes.
make decisions, whether it's social or political or whatever it is, that's against God, against His will, and we think somehow we're bettering our people. So those are the kind of things we'll be talking about. That's going to be Juneteenth, June 19th. Everybody's
Right.
off, so the whole world can come, and we're going to be
Yes.
there in D.C. Right there in D.C., and we'll be
Oh.
there in Tyson's Corner, Marriott, there
Yes.
in D.C. Yeah, and it's a brunch. It's a brunch, so 11 o'clock. That's the next biggest thing. And then many of you have heard about our conferences. You've been a speaker of many
Man,
conferences
they're
that we
fire.
had.
Yes.
Oh my
You
goodness,
leave
we just
empowered, inspired,
oh
and
my
mad,
God.
ready to change something.
I tell you what, God has just given the grace, even with founded as deceased Dean Nelson, Bishop Dean Nelson, but all the way through. It's just been a great time to facilitate leadership, and many times leaderships that are almost unexposed. But you bring these guys together, and I tell you what, right after another, from panels to speaking, the keynote speakers to breakouts.
Yes.
I mean, it's truly revolutionary. So
Yes.
yeah, you definitely do not want to miss that. It's going to be. Sometimes it's in October. This time we slipped over to November. I think the last one actually Dean was in November too. But it's the 6th through the 8th, November
Okay.
6th through the 8th here in Atlanta. We'll be there. Actually, last year we were at Crown Plaza. We're actually going to be across the street this time. It's still
Okay.
in Norcross area. It's going to be at the Hilton Hotel. So we love for you to do whatever you can do. And we always want Bishop Matthews in there. So I'm hoping
Man,
that
I'll
we
be
can
there.
get on his calendar this year
If I'm
and get
alive,
him
I'm
on there.
there.
But then the whole crowd, your whole church needs to be there, man. Bring
Yes,
them
sir.
all. I'll
Okay.
bring all South Haven down there. That's right.
We get a bus and come on down.
Come
We're
on
only
down.
we're only 5 hours away.
It
It's not
is. It
bad.
is.
It's not
And,
bad
and
at
I tell
all.
you what, I've had several people, even leaders, that say this. They say, man, coming here, I found my people.
Yeah.
And what they mean is that find people of common beliefs, common values. Of course, everything's biblical foundation. But sometimes you don't really find enough people that you feel like you get a yes, a kind of
Mm.
the commitment. So many times they say that. I mean, we had Pat Bailey. She was a powerful speaker.
Yes.
We had Bishop Caraba spoke, and he's
Mm.
he's doing a great thing with the faith-based initiatives up there at the White House. I mean, we had, and it's not all black. Tony Perkins was speaking. He was so. This
Mm.
I need to tell your listening audience. So Tony Perkins, of course, is the president of Family Research Council.
Yes.
He loves Bishop Matthews so much that he spoke. And then he said, I'm staying. He stood in the back. I got to hear Bishop Matthews. So
Wow.
even though he had something to do, he said, I'm not leaving until I hear my brother speak. So
Wow.
that was powerful. I really, really appreciated that. And
Yeah.
it was well worth it. The word that you gave was a powerful word. Many people were talking about it afterwards. So all that is to say, if you want to engage the community and engage yourself with people that you feel have like-heartedness in terms of biblical truth, you want to definitely be with us. I know it's off now, but you might need to save the date,
Yes.
November the 6th through the 8th, to here in Atlanta, Norcross area.
Got it. And I'm going to make a note of that. At least I'll bring my leaders for sure, and we'll be there.
That's great.
I want to thank you because this labor of love, as you're going throughout the country, making sure people that may not believe that home ownership is obtainable, you're making it obtainable. You're bringing it right on a lower shelf where everybody can grab and resource, get finance, or find out what they need to do to be financed, purchase homes, and go forward. This is empowerment. It helps families, helps black families. I appreciate you for this.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And every little bit helps. I realize that we can't work in silos. Everybody doesn't have all the answers, but you have to partner with people that do. So this is one of the organizations that we partner with, and it's been very successful. But I tell you what, that partnership hopefully will be a benefit to all those that come to our seminars and programs throughout the nation.
That's fantastic. Speaking of partnering, I'm going to reach out to you. I got something to run past you. That's big.
Okay.
I'm gonna do with you. Yeah.
I like big. I like big, and I like together.
That's right. I know. Yep. Remind me of that time we were in D.C. talking at the restaurant. You got big itis.
We did. The whole conference was going on. We were focused on where we were. No question about it. And that was very important, too, because that was actually, again, he was there, but he really wanted us to connect. And that was our hearts connected. That's what really brought the bond together. Sure did.
We did.
Yeah,
we did,
absolutely.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you got a word for those that are watching. I know you're a prophet also. You're an apostle. Whatever you want to share before you go to your meeting, just from your heart for the thousands of people that are watching.
Well, I tell you what, I just love the fact that we have the freedom in our nation to still carry the word of God and to be able to live the word of God. I was telling my church even just yesterday on Resurrection Sunday, we cannot just find ourselves caught up in religion. Resurrection Sunday cannot just be a religion. And I broke it down to 3 areas. I said, listen, if you've gone through another Resurrection Sunday, you don't know what next year will bring. But number one, the emphasis of it is that, one, you got to walk in authority. Because I really believe that a lot of and I don't want to spiritualize or spook anybody out, but there are a lot of generational curses that have to be broken, particularly over our people, over our families. Some of them are health, some of them deal with promiscuity, some of them deal with all type of vulnerabilities that we have, and it's a spiritual component of it. But if you don't have the authority and walk in that authority, you can't even cast it out yourself, much less somebody else in your family. But I want to just declare to you that some of you guys are ordained to be curse breakers. So therefore, you only can get that from spending time with God. You have to spend time with him. So it's not like the sons of Sceva. It's not the God that Bishop Matthews preached about, or Bishop Hunt preached about, or that Paul and Jesus. We know them, but who are you? Each one of us have to have a relationship where we can walk in authority that comes from relationship and comes from time spent with him and faith. And the other part about it was supernatural power. I mean, I know, again, I'm spiritualizing this, but you got to have some power. You cannot think that you're going to deal with everything you're facing from the ground floor, from this earth. You can't entangle ourselves in the affairs of this life because you get so entangled that you won't be able to get ready. So it increases your frustration, your anxiety, some people actually start talking about suicide because they don't know what to do with their circumstances.
That's right.
So you have to hold on to the Holy Spirit. He says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. So there's a supernatural power that we have to hold on to, and that there's nothing to be said about it. And then lastly, life, authority, empowerment, and life. God has renewed our life, resurrected life. There's a new life ahead. Don't give up on this, but our hope is eternal. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end. This could be a new season for you if you recognize that God's doing something new and fresh. His new mercies are renewed day by day. So see yourself starting on a new beginning, and a new time, and a new season, and a revived life out of this resurrection season.
Hallelujah. Man, you blessed us. Thank you so much for allowing the Lord to use you.
Amen. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
I appreciate so much our bond and our friendship. So I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you. But I'll be reaching out to you this week.
Okay,
Share
sounds
some things
good.
with you.
Sounds good.
Thank you for being with us. Well, everybody, that was Bishop Garland Hunt, lawyer, preacher, prophet, apostle, businessman, and helper of people to get homes. Come on. And there's a long list. Husband, father, grandfather. He's doing it. This man's doing it. I thank God for him. Douglas Leadership Institute, the work they're doing. That's this week in Memphis. Can you put that back up on the screen so we can show everybody a conversation on home ownership and generational wealth this Wednesday, April the 23rd, 2025. That's at 5:30. I would advise you to get there at 5. Yeah, just get there early so you're not in the back of the line. And tell them I told you that you need to put your name in so you get your rent paid for, your mortgage paid for. Wait, put it back on the screen. That's at the Peabody Hotel. You can find that easy. Parking is available. So we'll see you there. I'll be there. And I'm putting my name in to get my mortgage paid for. So, but we thank God for Bishop Hunt. We thank God for his grace. And isn't it true that we have freedom to worship, freedom to evangelize, freedom to share, and to break curses, that I may know him in the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. So I'm so grateful. We'll see you all next week. I'm trying to think. That's it for today. That's our time. We've been together. God bless you being on Wake Up Monday. I'll see you in the morning for morning motivation. We're running that every day. I'll see you in the morning. Thank God for you all to follow us. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious toward you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So shall the Lord write his name upon you. He declares that you are blessed. God bless you. See you next week. Listen, are you tired of soft stuff? Are you tired of just going through motion and wonder where's the adventure in God? I want to invite you to an adventure and evangelism. I'm going 2 weeks hiking from village to village in the Amazon. This ain't for everybody. This for the real ones. Tired of just sitting around pastel colors and glossy flyers, and let's get out there and do the real thing. Men, women, I'm only taking 10 people with me. Send me a 2-minute video to my email, it's below, and let me know why you should go with me to the Amazon, evangelizing, sharing with the other people of God from village to village in the jungle for 2 weeks. We're gonna go hard for Jesus. Boom!